Today's presentation will be an overall tour of my collection of telephone switching systems, key systems, and telephones. We're outside the door of the central office, and we will start there and then continue on through the items I mentioned. I do have two phone booths with payphones in it. I have a 1C rotary telephone on the left and a 1D telephone that's touch tone on the right, and yes, they are operational. This payphone is the 1C, and it's faded because it's in the sunshine, and it was well used when I acquired it many years ago. And this is on the Collectors Network 377-9901. Western Electric 1D telephone. Outside the door entering the central office, we have on the left a combined distribution frame. This has the Western Step Stromberg XY on it. It also has connected tie cables to the number 3 crossbar, cables to the North Electric CX100, as well as digital carrier stuff, analog carrier, and lots of trunks. The Stromberg-Carlson XY telephone switching system. I have 2 aisles of XY. This machine has equipment that's back-to-back mounted. This was one of the selling points for the Stromberg XY. And we're looking at the connector shelf and the line equipment that is on the right side of the screen, and then the next frame over has the selectors. We have here the common equipment for the XY. This has the tone interrupter, alarm equipment. There's an automatic number identifier in it. This particular Stromberg XY has a vacuum tube source. And when I get over by my speakerphone, I will go off hook and let you hear what the vacuum tube sounds like. This is the interrupter for the XY. And I'm at the other end of the aisle of the XY. I do not intend on providing any details on the system, as I have on my channel many videos of each of the individual switching systems that go into much more detail. This is just an overall walkthrough video. If you like, please subscribe and share. I also have a Patreon channel and YouTube membership. A Stromberg Orange 554 wall phone, a Stromberg 6-button wall phone, the rear of the XY common equipment, and over on the left side we have the miscellaneous bays of the power supply, tone to pulse converters, and other equipment. This is the front side of the miscellaneous aisle. Down here we have the Northern Telecom rectifiers. These are connected to batteries that run the office. Next to it we have some Telabs and Westcom type equipment. The next aisle, the next frame over has a bunch of Western Electric 7A recorded announcement machines. These are the Western Electric E-type signaling units. These work on a 2600 hertz tone, both transmitting and receiving. The first 4 down on the lower left shelf are the incoming CNET trunks. And then there's just more miscellaneous stuff mounted in this bay. Some 1A1 stuff. This is mostly storage. This is an Autochron announcement machine. This is the machine that telephone companies use for the time of day and or the temperature. This is the trunks and the control shelf for it. This is the rack mount PC that has my CNET connection. It's running asterisk, and I have a 4-port T1 card, so I can have 96 channels. This is aisle 1. Actually, we call it the 101 aisle. There are 7 9-foot tall relay racks of equipment. The one here on the left that we're looking at is one of many of the intelligent coin trunks. This allows payphones the ability to dial the operator without a coin, 911, and depending on other options, I can add 411, 611, and so forth. Down here below it, I have a bunch of trunks with a 3CL long distance switchboard. So when you dialed 0, one of the ways you could get to the operator was through these trunks, or the operator can use these trunks to make originating calls. I will make a call to my automatic number announcer.
Seven, 5, 5, 5, 5.
That was the number that I originated a call from. This aisle has what's called an automatic number identifier, model type D. I have approximately 30 trunks in this office. These trunks are sophisticated as I can have multiple accesses to them for non-coin or coin phones. This is a dual outpulser, which means it can identify one call at a time, which takes about a quarter of a second, and then the outpulser can send the number in MF to the destination office. So one person can make a call, it'll send a pulse out, get the number, and then the other identifier can send a pulse out and get a number. So they both could outpulse within a quarter of a second or so of one another. This outpulser that we're looking at is temporarily out of service because of the leaking relay right here has jammed this relay. In order to replace that relay, which I would do this fall or winter, there's approximately 45 to 50 wires in the back of it. This relay is a 12 transfer, which means there's 36 contacts plus the coil, and lots of the contacts have 2 wires on each post. Back of the ANI outpulser, I have a nice collection of 1A, 1A1, and 1A2 equipment. This is the 1A1. Then below it I have 1A2. There's 104 lines or so of 1A2. Rear of lineup 101 and 102. 101 is on the left, 102 is on the right. This is the front of lineup 102, which is over here on the left side. And there's lots of trunks for most any and every situation that I'll ever encounter in this office. And then here we're looking at the line equipment, which is 600 lines, 200 lines in this one particular frame right here, and I have 3 of them. Then we have spatial selectors and then connectors. This is the back of lineup 103 and 104, which is basically the back of the line equipment, selectors and connectors. We're looking at lineup 104 on the left and 105. This step-by-step machine has approximately 500 switches in it. Some of the wiring in this office. The rear of line 105. And then over here on the right side is a North Electric CX100 switching system. The inside of the basic cabinet. This is an 80-line switching system. Common equipment of the North Electric CX100 machine. The last two frames of the CX100. We have a 5-frequency ringing generator on this office, so I have 10 party phone lines. We have 2 bays of equipment that is mostly for my 3CL long distance switchboard. There are a few other items mixed into the rack. The shelf with the cards and the cables is an entire central office by itself. It's a red comm switch. And then I have some Cisco equipment that I'm not proud of. And then some more stuff for a toll carrier. Not necessarily carrier, but toll stuff. A Western Electric number 3 crossbar switching system. There's only 2 of these left in the world. The one that's here, and then the one at the Telephone Museum in Ellsworth, Maine. There's the marker. Rear of 2 of the 4 aisles of the number 3 crossbar machine. All right, we're looking at the front of the second aisle and the front of the third aisle. The one on the right side is the third aisle. This is a 400 line switch, and the stuff we're looking at is the line frames for the number 3 crossbar machine. Back of the number 3 crossbar machine. There's enough room I can show you the back of the line equipment. This aisle has the number 3 crossbar ringing generator, ring and tone plant. It's offline due to the fact that it consumes more power by itself than the entire crossbar machine in the idle mode. The frame next to it that has a recorded announcement is out of a number 1A ESS office. And someday I'll have that working. The 13A is an electronic solid state bubble memory that was made by Western Electric, and this was installed in 1A ESSs. And then we have here some of my network stuff to connect to the world. And then we have my mini Cosmic frame. This is what was with the number 3 crossbar when it was made. Rear of the test boards, front of the test boards. So I have over on the most extreme, what would be the furthest in the photo is a number 17. The middle test board is a number 18, and the one here at the end is a model number 24. This is the vertical side of the central office mainframe. The end of the mainframe that's got my party line test on it, a telephone, a number 3 test cabinet, and a few odds and ends. These are test phones. It's connected up to the various switches in the building. And then we have here the 1A2, and some of the 1A1 is terminated on the 66B4 blocks up at the top. We have here the 620 type system, and there is more than 10,000 pairs of wire on this 1A2 backboard. I'm at the other end of the aisle, and these are some of the intercom and spatial service panels of the 620 system, and more of the 66 blocks. The business telephone section of my telephone display. A view from the other end. Most of the telephones in this room are connected or will be connected. One of my IDFs, this IDF is only used for the 18 and 30 button telephones that's in this room. There's a handful of 6-button ITT sets that's connected to my ITT key system. And up on the top, over on the left side, is a 551C. Then we have a 551B, a 551A, and an ITT 601. Up here on the right side, we have a Northern Electric 1A2, a Western Electric 1A1, and then some of my Western Electric payphones, the 1E3 and the panel payphone. For those who have never been in a central office, this is part of the cabling for the step-by-step, the XY. I'm here at the mainframe, so the cable, of course, is the deepest. And then we'll look down on the number 3 crossbar. Cable coming off the cable rack into the verticals and the horizontals. Western Electric Model D4 channel bank. This is what's connected to the Astra system. My number 3 CL toll board. I've been working on different projects in this room, so I've got stuff set up in here, such as a fan, and kind of a mess right now. This is a short of some of the phones I have. More of the vintage phones. A lot of these phones are actually connected. I will have this payphone, I hope, finished this fall. I was missing a part, and I now have that part, so I just have to put it in and put the phone together. The intercom switchboard. Then I have my trim lines and the knickknacks, I call them, on above it. And then I have various 500s, 2500s, 1500s, and so forth. I have a nice collection of 554s. And the 500s and 2500s. I have a Western Electric 416 COM key. I did not have room in my key system display room for this, so it's in the single line room. The single line telephone sets and the single line wall telephone sets are manufactured by Western Electric, ITT, Stromberg, and Northern Electric. Not every manufacturer made them in all of the colors. I have my Princess phones and then my mini wall phones. Some of the lower phones are the rotary dial 1654 that was made by ITT and Stromberg. Western Electric made the model, but they never produced the rotary dial version of the 1654. They licensed it, but did not produce it. Then I have the 2554 that's made by a whole multitude of different companies. Then I have some amplified handsets, ringers, and just miscellaneous parts. My last switchboard acquisition was a Western Electric number 12 combination switchboard. This switchboard can have magneto telephones or non-dial common battery telephones. I spent probably 60 to 70 hours refurbishing this and making it operational. I have a model 1800 magneto switchboard, and then a 552 PBX board, various collection of payphones, and then my 1A key equipment collection. My original plan was to have almost every phone in my collection operational, and I do have a high percentage of them wired, and I will continue to work on that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and join the the Patreon page. Thank you very much.